All right. Three, two, one. I'm here with Agnieszka Golazzi. Please state your name.
Agnieszka Golazzi,
Okay. Where are we right now?
Garfield, New Jersey.
In your house?
Yes.
Yes. And we're conducting an oral history, right?
Yes.
Okay. You're aware that once this recordings can be sent to my school and be used in my class?
Yeah, that's fine.
Perfect. All right. Let's get started. So, tell me about yourself. When were you born? How old are you now? Where do you work?
So I'm 47 years old now. I was born in August 7, 1978 in Albania. I went to school in Albania for teaching. When I came in this country, I changed my mind, so I went into the cardiovascular program. So now I work as a cardiovascular ultrasound tech in Atlantic Health System and Cooperman Barnabas Medical Center.
Okay. And how much do you know about your country's history in Albania? Would you say
Well,
you're
I,
like a novice, advanced?
Now it's getting advanced.
Okay.
Day by day. I haven't been back in many years. More than 15 years ago was the last time I went back, and I did see a change. But from what I see on TV, it looks like you've changed even more from the last time I was there.
For the better?
I think for the better, yeah. I see how people dress up. I look at the streets, expensive cars.
Yeah. So, do you want to go back one day?
Oh, I would love to.
Okay.
I would love to go back and visit again. I still have a lot of family there.
Perfect. Okay, sounds good. All right. What have you learned or have been told about how Albania became a communist country? Like from the start, like how did it become one? Because it wasn't always a communist.
It was socialism and then communist country, and then in 1997 turned to be democracy. So many people then left the country. They went to mainly Italy and Greece, and some even U.S.
Okay. And your family was the U.S.
I left in 2003.
Okay.
Yeah.
So growing up, how did people around you talk about the government and Albania's past?
No one could talk much about the government. They were scared to talk about the government.
Why were they scared?
Because you go in prison. Yeah,
For
and not just the
stuff?
person, but the whole family gets
The whole
prosecuted.
family?
Yeah, gets prosecuted. And I remember my parents only learned Russian as a second language in school.
They had to learn Russian?
Yes, on TV you could only watch certain channels only from like communist countries. Same thing on the radio, you could only listen to certain channels, not everything.
Okay.
So it was very isolated.
Okay. All right. So when people would walk around, they never talk about the government. They'd keep stuff social and like only that. They would never speak anything too extreme.
No one could dare to say anything bad about the government back then. Yeah, it was not such thing as a freedom of speech like it
Okay.
is here.
Understood. What kinds of things were you taught in school about communism and about Albania's history?
But all I knew back then was the communists. I didn't know about any other regime but communists.
But
so
how
I
did they
thought
teach
that
it
was
in class? Like when you were in
How they
school and they were
teach it?
teaching their history,
Oh,
what were some things that like popped out to you? Some things that like made like Albania like more its identity made more.
Oh, they
itself?
had very strict rules. It was everything was very strict, but the poverty level was high actually. I remember even if you had money, you didn't even have, you couldn't even find food to buy, and even electricity was limited, couple hours a day. So I remember all of us used to go in one room, me, my brother, my sister, and my parents. We had like a wooden stove to feel warm.
Oh, at night
Yeah,
when
and
they
my
could-
mom used to cook in the wood stove. So it was only one warm room in the whole house actually. Yeah.
Was where you lived, was that considered more middle class than other people in the area?
Was actually middle. My parents, my mom was a teacher and my dad worked in a mine, so they were middle class. They worked hard, but still the
So even while being
living-
middle class, it was still
living
poverty.
was bad. Yeah, it was very bad.
So when you saw the poorer class, what was it like compared to like because compared to the being poor here, being poor there? What did you notice the difference was really?
Oh, I feel like it was a lot worse.
It was worse. In what ways
Yeah.
was it worse there?
I mean, because I compare with my family, like my parents had good jobs and were still struggling a lot. So I can't even imagine what other families.
Because even though you were middle
know.
class, you were still
Yeah.
impoverished.
Yes. Oh yes. Yeah.
So when did you, like when you were a schoolgirl, when did you first realize that Albania was different than other countries?
Oh, here when I went to school.
No, when in Albania, not
Oh.
in school here. When you were growing up in Albania, when was
Uh-huh.
your first moment of realization that you're like, you looked around and you realized like this country is not like other countries?
Because then when democracy came, and then we could see other channels, except for Albanian channels, we see how the world was, you know.
So you didn't know
The rest, I didn't
how
know
different you
till-
guys were
Oh, I
until
didn't know.
it
Yeah,
got
it was
more
such
opened
an
up.
isolated. It was a very isolated country.
Okay, so when you were there, when you were learning about countries like Britain and the U.S. and Canada, did you know anything about those countries?
Not much. Then whatever we were learning in school, you know.
And they would
Like
keep
history.
it. They would keep it low.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So and how did your parents or like older family members, like you remember, like your parents and your uncles describe their life during that time? Like what could you see from being young of what your parents and like uncles and aunts went through?
It was about like the same level of
same.
the same, yeah.
So there was
level
no
of
growth or
life.
decrease. It was just the
No,
same.
was the same. Yeah, same lifestyle. Um,
Just
but
yeah.
just
Okay.
like yeah.
Were there other than just talking bad about the government, were there other topics you avoid discussing in general? Like not just like saying, "Oh, I hate my government," but like even small things like you just felt like you couldn't speak about.
Oh, God forbid you could not say a bad word about the president,
Not as not okay.
about the president back then, or
And who was the president in there in that time?
Enver Hoxha.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he's called an
or
Iron
about
Fist leader in the history books. Is that
Yeah.
do you think that's true?
Yeah, yeah. He was. You know, no one could say a bad word about him.
Did in your life, do you remember seeing anybody oppose him and what may have happened to them?
The only time was when 1997, when then that's when democracy started actually.
So during
Yeah.
this whole
It
reign,
was mainly the students who started the whole.
it was the students.
Was the students, yeah.
Mhm.
Was the students.
It's usually like that with most countries, and then it's the
Yeah,
students who.
it was the students, yeah, universities.
Okay, perfect. So, can you describe what like a typical day is like when you were growing up? So, say you're like 15, right? You wake up for school. Run me through that entire day. What do you do step by step?
Oh, first of all, we had to wear a uniform, and with a red scarf.
Red scar. Is that
Yeah,
symbolism?
Yeah, from the flag.
Okay.
You know, a black shirt and a red scarf. Everyone had the same uniform.
Boys and girls.
Yeah, boys and girls.
So, what was a typical breakfast like? Would sometimes
There
you
is no
miss
such
breakfast?
thing as giving breakfast there in school like they do here.
Oh, so
Or
would
was
you,
not
do
such option of buying breakfast.
so in the morning you just
You just
woke up
eat
and went.
whatever you can eat at home, and that was it.
But would there be some days that you didn't have something in the morning?
I mean, it's been a very long time, and like I said, my parents were middle class. It's not that we suffered a lot for food. The thing is, even if you had money, you could not buy. You did
couldn't
not
be
have so
luxurious
much
about it.
variety of food like you have it
Okay.
here.
You were stuck with a certain variety.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, very limited.
So once you went to school, what was that day like? What was school like? What were the subjects they taught? What was how did the teachers act?
So I was doing something was like they have it here like an online schooling because it was a different city. It was not in my city.
Okay.
The college I went for teaching, and I couldn't finish because then I came here. So yeah, I used to like study at home and then go there.
But that was
and just
college,
take
right?
College.
But what about
take
the high school?
exams.
Do you remember as much about high school?
High school was just like here, you know.
You didn't notice much like when your teachers were broaching subjects that you felt they couldn't talk about, or maybe maybe the school was like the building itself was like.
All I remember was very strict rules, more rules
Strict
than
rules.
here.
Was there corporal punishment?
When I see like high schoolers here going to school dressed up like this, that was not allowed in my country. You have to dress up nice to go to school.
But was there things like corporal punishment? Like would they hit you, the teachers? Or were they allowed to hit you?
No, they were. I mean, they were not allowed. But I remember they were very strict. So everybody was very scared.
Everyone was strictness.
Yeah.
That's
Like
what
what
it
shocks me is that here students in high school and college dress up like this. That was not allowed there.
No.
If you dress up not professionally when you go even to school, they send you home.
Okay. So
Yeah.
did you feel like growing up in high school, what was the expectation for when you graduated? Was there much growth after you graduated school? Was there much options for jobs?
Not many options. The city I grew up was small, so
What city was it?
that was Pogradec.
Pogradec.
Yeah, it's very close to Macedonia. In born in Macedonia, that's why I thought teaching, because that was one of the fewest position you can get a job.
That was one of the few. So say you were, if you were, like you said, your father was a miner. If you were a boy in high school and you finished high school, was that looking like the job you'd have to do, mining?
Mining or
construction?
Not even construction, because construction you have to have like a big company to work for.
But there wasn't that.
No, mine like a cop, or like my uncle was an officer. Or if you had like a small shop, small cities don't have a lot of options for jobs.
Okay. But even so, was one goals you guys did have as children to move to the bigger cities?
After finishing college, if you couldn't find any job there, maybe,
So that was in your head.
But
though.
even in a different city, it's not easy to adopt,
Okay. Alright, that was good. So other than, okay, so you were talking a lot about speech and like there was no freedom of speech. You couldn't talk about anything
Absolutely
you wanted
not,
to.
yeah.
Were there any other freedoms that you felt you didn't have?
I didn't have, like you couldn't even watch TV like on other channel to learn what's
So the
going
press,
on
you
around
didn't
the
have
world.
freedom of press.
No, or the radio, or
So all news people were just government news people. There was no outside news.
No outside news. Yeah, it was very isolated. Very isolated.
Did you grow up
No one could come in or leave the country.
No one could come in.
And if one person from family left the country, then the whole family gets prosecuted.
Oh,
They send the whole family in camps.
So if say
one person
left the
leaves,
country,
the whole family gets prosecuted. So that's why they make it that way, so no one can leave.
So
Because then
you're
the
scared
whole
to
family
leave.
suffers. Yeah, the whole family suffers.
So
And first
was
of all,
there ever
you're scared to leave because you can get killed anyway.
Once they
catch
them,
you.
yeah, once
Yes,
they catch
once
you.
they catch you. Yeah.
Because they didn't plan on keeping you in jail, right? They wanted you gone to make everyone scared. They say like the fear wasn't like, oh, I'd get to the jail. The fear was you're getting killed.
The fear and the family too.
And the
like,
family.
Yeah. No one wanted to leave because then the family pays for everything.
So so that's the government. So you said your uncle was a officer, right? And
he was he was an officer. Yeah.
he was an officer. And Albania is known for its corruption in the government, even today in its democracy times. Albania is known for its corruption and its corruption of police officers. What did you see when you were growing up? How officers acted to the people around you and to the citizens?
Well, I remember my uncle was very strict. I remember even when he came home, we all used to sit in a corner because the uniform he was wearing. But he was.
What do you mean sit in the corner because of the uniform he was wearing?
No, he was a very nice person, but just the idea that he was coming home.
That made you attentive.
It was just respect.
Oh, it was respect.
It was just respect. Yeah, it was just respect. That's how we grew up. But to go in military, it's not like here that you go because you want to go to military. There is not an option. There was not an option.
Oh, there was a draft.
Yes, for 2 years,
2 years
months,
minimum.
24 months minimum. So that
every
was
boy.
For everyone after they turn yes.
Everyone or every boy.
For every boy.
Every boy.
Every
so
boy,
it
yeah.
was women were excluded, but men as soon as
yes.
they turned 18,
yeah, they had
there was
to go.
no option.
It was no option. It was mandatory.
Mandatory. So
was
what
mandatory.
like? And you said your father was in the military, right?
My uncle.
Your uncle.
My uncle. He
So
was
your
the one
father
training. My father worked in a mine.
So he was excluded when he turned 18.
No, everyone
But
did.
he still went to the military.
Everyone did military.
So did your father ever tell you anything about what it was like to have to be in the military? Or your uncle? Like, do you have any? Do you know what that was
I'm
like?
sure that the food was bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure the food was very bad.
No, I'm sure. So, your uncle
because I
being-
remember that my cousin. I remember my aunt saying, "Oh my God, he lost so much weight when he came from the army, so he was always complaining."
Oh, really?
The food was very bad.
Oh, he lost so much weight.
He
Probably.
He couldn't even eat
That
it.
makes sense. Oh, yeah.
He couldn't even eat it.
So your uncle, right, was an officer.
Yeah.
That one, it makes me want to talk more about police officers in general, because like I said, like it's known, the country's known for its
Not
corruption.
a police officer. He was an officer training.
He was
in
a
the
training
army.
officer.
In the army.
Oh, so he was a training officer in the army. Okay, so
Yeah,
he wasn't deploying in the streets.
No, in the
he was
streets.
focused
No,
on
he was
training new cadets.
Yes, training new.
New soldiers, okay.
Yes.
Understood. Okay, but okay, so still, like officers that you saw, did you ever feel like you were being watched? sometimes or monitored? Like when you're going on a walk, do you ever feel like there's something like behind your shoulder looking
Oh,
at you
they only
sometimes?
could come
Or the
home.
cameras.
No, they only could come home certain times of the year.
What do you mean come home certain times of the year? Like they initiate checks, or every year, like every couple months?
There is no such thing as checks. That you just go in the army, you don't get paid.
No, I mean, when officers were they allowed to just go in your home, no warrant, just like they could just come in and check things out, make sure everything's okay, like as in like no, you're not talking about anything about the government.
Oh no,
You're
no,
not-
no, it was not such a thing.
They
Was not.
but could they come in your house?
No, unless someone is spying or but no.
No, that wasn't common. You would
It
never
was not-
see. You
no
wouldn't
one.
see that.
Yeah,
Okay.
they couldn't just come for no reason.
Okay. And how did living under that like communism affect the trust between people? Like I'm sure there's stories of like family members excluding each other off because one person says the wrong thing and no one wants to get hurt.
There is no such thing as one person saying the wrong thing. Everybody was saying the same thing.
Everyone said
Because
there's
everyone
no.
was scared.
Everyone was scared.
Yeah, everyone thought the
so
same,
because
dressed up
of-
the same.
mhm, because living under like that, how did that make you feel when talking to somebody? Like, was it always on edge? Like when it's a new person, like off the street or in class or at work, you're talking to a new person. How does that affect you getting able to trust somebody in a country where you're all required to say the same thing?
You could not talk at all bad about anyone
Mm-hmm.
to anyone.
To anyone.
Yeah, because you can't even trust no one. Because you don't really know who works for the government.
That's
So,
that's my point. So,
you,
like, was it like, there's other points where you're talking to somebody and you feel like
you can't.
you just felt stuck.
Can't.
You just can't.
You
Yeah.
just can't.
So how did that feel like? You want? Have you ever wanted to just say something?
Because when you grow up and that's all you listen on TV, that that's all you know. You don't know anything else.
Yeah, you don't know anything.
You
So
don't know
all you
anything
know
else.
is
You
what
don't.
you
You
live
don't know
under.
what. You don't know how another country is. That's all you know.
So in your mind, you're thinking things are okay.
And you're thinking the rest of the world is like this.
You thought everybody was like this.
Not just me. Everybody thought this is it. The
This
rest
is
of
life
the
for
world.
the world.
Yes, the world is just like this.
That's very interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
So, living like that, what was the general mood? What was the aura of your city, of your society, of you saw people? Was it? I don't mean like oh it's raining all the time. There's fog everywhere. Like Albania is a beautiful country. There's sun. There's beaches, lakes, mountains.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful country. But under an authoritative society, what was the general mood of daily life? Like was there like you'd walk and like was there would you still see kids playing soccer in the streets, like uncles outside playing dominoes having fun, like it's just still you still found ways to just have a fun life?
I mean, yeah, we used to play outside all the time, and it was actually safe, because we knew all the neighbors.
Because you knew everybody.
We knew everybody. My parents knew everybody, so we used to play outside a lot. It was no such thing as computers, video
Yeah.
games,
So that same as a teenager, like you still go out
We
and
used
hang
to
out with
play,
friends,
yeah,
right?
yeah, play volleyball.
Was there like a curfew for you guys, like a government curfew?
No, to go home. I mean, as kids, we used to go home early
As
anyway.
kids, yeah, let's say like young adults. Like
As young adults, after a certain time, no one could just walk in the streets for no reason.
like what time do you think?
I don't really remember that well. Maybe it was like 10 o'clock or something.
Okay. No, that's very interesting. Wow. So I want to go back to when we talked about how like you thought your country was like the rest of the world, and like you thought everyone was living this way, so you think it's okay. You think
Because you don't know any better.
because you don't know it better. Exactly, because you don't know any better. So is there really like was that really nothing? Like there was nothing you knew. Like you didn't hear about the things America was doing during the time, like with the wars in Vietnam, or
No,
you
because
didn't hear
you
about.
could not hear anything on the radio.
So no
Or
information was
TV.
going into you guys.
Yeah, it was only from Russian channels, Macedonia,
And
Yugoslavia. That was
they wouldn't
communist
speak
country.
of.
No, like I said, it was very isolated.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Okay, all right. So I think we set the basis of like what it's like to live in communism. I want to go now to talk about what it was like to leave. So first, what made your decision to leave Albania? Like when and why did you make the decision?
Oh, so I left in 2003, and I mean, I always wanted to come here. I always said this was like
You've always wanted to come here,
the
but
country of
so
opportunities.
when did you not when you left, but when did you want to leave? Like what when
When
like,
democracy first started, though, then they
when,
were
when
showing
was
stuff.
democracy first started? What year?
1997. They were
1997.
showing
And
stuff on TV like.
so what was the day like in that day when communism fell?
Oh, everybody was on the streets.
There was parties.
They were, I mean, they were. Actually, was also a mess too. You know.
It was a mess.
Yeah.
Oh, like, but in a good way.
Not because they went against the government that was back then. You know.
Mm.
So.
But
Was in a
still-
bad way and a good way.
But
was,
still,
was a
hope was in
little
the
mess.
air.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, 1 second. Pause. Perfect. Alright. So, hope was in the air. The government fell. Who took over?
The
Democratic Party.
Democratic Party.
The
Yeah.
Democratic Party took over. Yes. So, when that happened, there's parties in the streets. There's a big mess because now there's a vacuum of power. No
Yeah.
one's in control right now, but at the
Yes.
same time, the old leaders are gone.
And people try to leave too.
And people now they're
They're
flooding the
taking the
streets.
sheep and going to Italy.
And they're so Albania is mostly farmland, right? Like
Yeah.
that's the that was the main job. You're farming, mining, or you happen to have like a special job that you got, right? So those farmers and miners, they're selling everything, right? So when they sell everything and they're going, does that say to you like how like bad off you guys were to like leave everything in the dust and make a chance? It's not 100%, but there's a chance to leave. Was that scary or was that hopeful to you?
I feel like that was like enough is enough, you know.
Okay.
So at some point, everyone has to try for a better life.
So you were following them. You saw everyone leaving. You're saying, okay, it's my turn.
Yeah.
So you were the first to leave, right?
From my family.
From your family.
From my family, yeah.
Okay, so what was that like to tell your family you're leaving? Was it a plan you guys made together? Or did you just tell them I want to leave?
No, because then was years after. I came in 2003, so was about 5 years. Then things start changing in my country. So actually, almost all the young people were starting to leave the
Okay.
country. Yeah,
So
it was sad, but
your parents wanted you to go?
It's like yes and no. Sometimes you want to give your child a better opportunity, but then
But they were
also you want
scared.
to, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But so did you
And-
have to? Did you just leave, or did you wait for their yes?
No,
did-
I mean of course for yes.
So they finally said yes.
Yes.
And you left, and you left with your ex-husband, right?
Yeah.
So we didn't go over that because it isn't really important. But you met your ex-husband in Albania, and he offered to take you to America, and then so you can live there and make your foundations there,
Yeah.
right? And that's when you started going to school, right?
No, I actually went to school after I got divorced.
It was after you got divorced. Okay, got you. So actually, let me backtrack actually because I feel like we're going too ahead. So actually, I want to go to the process of leaving. So, how did did you pay for yourself, or was it your ex-husband who set up the
visa?
The visa.
It was my
and stuff?
ex-husband.
It was ex-husband.
Yeah.
You paid. So you went on a plane, right?
Yeah.
You went on a plane. Was that your first time on a plane?
Yes.
How was that like?
I got sick.
You got sick.
Yes, it's embarrassing, but I got sick. Yeah.
Like, was it
Just like-
scary?
Because in my country, I also used to get sick in the car because
Motion
cars
sickness.
there, yes, have a
Oh,
very
they have
bad
a-
smell.
yeah. But
Yeah, compared to here.
so when you were in that airport
Yeah, I
for
got
the
sick.
first time, what did you feel?
You feel like you're a little lost.
You felt lost?
Yeah.
But did you just feel like,
Especially if you don't know the language. It's
Oh, yeah?
hard. Yeah.
Oh,
If you
yeah.
know English, it's hard.
so but like how did it feel to like leave your family?
I mean, it is of course hard, but then you always talk on the phone.
Yeah, Skype and
also,
everything.
yeah, and then also after being here for 5 years, I went to see them one time.
You went after 5 years of being here. You went
Yeah.
back to see them.
To see them, I
So-
only been back one time actually.
One time since then, or that was the one time?
One time in 23 years.
One time in 23 years. Wow. So, when you landed in America, what was your first impressions? What were the things like immediately you were like maybe wow or huh, like you were confused about, or things that just made you look like this is amazing? If there
mean-
was anything.
In the beginning was not really so amazing because you come and like the airport is a mess and
Mhm.
driving here like cars.
Where did you
know.
land? Do you remember?
Newark.
Newark. You landed in Newark.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And then when I came, and I always lived in Garfield, it was not that I was surprised or shocked by these houses.
You lived in Garfield because your ex-husband lived in
Yes,
Garfield, right?
yes. And I've always lived in Garfield
So ever since then.
ever since then.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
Well,
mean,
so
different house, but ever since.
Would you
then.
have chosen another place to go? But say maybe not America. Why didn't you choose Canada or the UK? The UK was closer, and they were also a democracy.
I mean,
You just didn't think about it?
Yeah.
But so the US was on everyone's mind at the time.
Most of the people.
Most of the people was the
yeah,
US.
yeah.
Okay. So, right, you land in Newark. You're in America for the first time in your whole life.
Mhm.
You're in another country. What are you thinking?
Or you feel lost, especially if you don't speak the language, you don't know.
Right. Yeah. You don't speak
You
like
don't know where to go.
when you exit the airport and you see daily life.
Uh-huh.
What pops out to you?
It was like a variety of people, you know, from all
Diversity.
yes.
So you're
different-
saying because in America it's only Albanians. There's no other people.
in Albania.
Maybe
there's
some
only
Macedonians
Albanian.
and
Yes,
Serbians you
yes,
see around.
yes.
But in
here
America,
is
you're seeing Hispanics,
from all over
Black
the world.
people,
yes.
Asians. That's the
Yes.
first time. Was it the first time seeing other
yes,
people?
the first time.
So you never met an Asian, Hispanic,
No,
or Black person
no.
before.
Yeah.
So what was that? Were you scared of meeting new people? Because these people are like they're different from you.
I mean, not really, but just was, you know, you.
It was surprising.
The first thing you try to do is try to learn and understand what they
Mhm.
say. You
That's
know?
the first thing. Mhm.
Yeah, like after I learned English, then I wanted to learn a little bit of Spanish because here almost everyone wants you to speak
So
Spanish.
that
wherever
was the
you
most
go.
thing. That was the biggest thing that overwhelmed you was the language.
The language, and also when I went to school here, because I never used computer in my country, computer class was the hardest class for me.
Oh yeah, because over there we had computers around the whole like country had computers to learn because it was a new technology, but you guys didn't have that.
No, for the first time I took computer class here when I went to college, so that was the hardest class to take.
That was okay. So overall, your first impressions was, I'm stressed and I need to figure this out. That was the first.
And you feel a little lost.
You felt lost, but
Yeah.
you didn't have time to like say like feel happy or feel excited.
In the beginning, no, especially if you don't have anyone from your family, you know.
So that was
it's
just
hard.
your
It's
main goal. The
hard,
main goal was
yeah.
your family. You leave and then get the family.
Not really. It was not that main goal. It was just like to start a better life and also
But so if to start a
eventually,
better life for
like to have a good job.
so that was the
you
goal
know?
for you. The main goal
Yeah.
was you first,
Yeah.
right? So
and then to have my family close to me too.
of course, yeah. But once that's what I'm saying. So you had this goal, and you're finally here to do it.
Mm-hmm.
No excitement, no maybe some like hopefulness, maybe like
Well,
like
I always say
freedom.
True. Yes. Freedom of speech. Here you have opportunities to do so much.
Mhm.
Like like if I was born here, I'm sure I was going to do a lot more schooling. I'm
Mhm.
sure I had more opportunities. But here you can do so much if you're not lazy and if you want to be someone, you can definitely be someone.
That's definitely true. Definitely true. So the hardest part, language. We got that down.
Yes.
Fully understand why that would be because everything's in English.
And
you know what I
driving
mean?
too. I never drove in my
You never drove in
country.
Albania?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Was driving in Albania like was that maybe not luxurious?
Back then
but
you
was
could
it
only see like in the whole city maybe 5-6 cars.
really?
Yeah.
So it wasn't like America, like in Newark, the streets are flooded.
No,
it wasn't like
absolutely not. Yeah, for the first time I drove here.
That. So the noise was definitely all the people. That was definitely scary,
Yeah, for
right?
the first time I drove here, all this,
Mm-hmm. So, did you notice anything? So the language, that's one, but the culture, because you got to see
the food.
You got to see the food, how people talk, the jobs, how people look, how what people wear, like the music they listen to. This is a whole new culture. Because the thing about America is the diversity of other cultures. So in Albania, we were only exposed to most of your life in Albanian culture, but now you're exposed to hundreds of cultures.
Right.
What was that like? Did you enjoy it? Did you see the difference and was like?
For the first time, I remember I went to Walmart and I see someone walking in Walmart with pajamas, and I said that oh my God, this poor man just left the hospital and came here because pajamas in my country you only mostly wear it when you're in the hospital.
So because you'd
But
sell
then
me.
I saw that here everyone dresses up the way they want. They
Mm-hmm.
You know, they do whatever they want. There is no judgment.
Exactly. Okay, because I
There is no
remember
judgment. But
when I was,
you couldn't do that in my
Mhm.
country because everyone is gonna look at you, pick at you.
exactly. 'Cause I remember
You know,
when I went to
it's-
school and we had pajama day.
Yeah.
You were terrified
I know.
because to
yeah,
you
like,
that's not real.
No, it's not.
You go to school,
Yeah,
you wear a
can't go to
tie,
school.
you wear
No,
pants
you
and
have
a
to
shirt.
dress up.
You have to dress
yeah.
nice. But
Yeah.
over here, that didn't really matter.
Here it doesn't matter. Yeah.
And did you sort of like how different it was, or you still kept your traditional values from Albania? But
No,
did you
I mean I would still like that when you go to school you have to look presentable.
presentable?
You know,
Yeah.
and
But did you
or
like
when
that
go
you
to
had the
work.
freedom to do whatever you wanted?
But
Just the fact that it was there. You didn't have to do it, but
okay.
just the fact you could.
yes,
That meant
yes,
something.
Yes.
You need much longer?
Yeah, bro. So yeah, that was okay. That's a great thing because even though you didn't like it, it's just the fact that you could do it. Because in Albania, maybe you wouldn't have even done wear pajamas
Absolutely
in
no
school.
one could do it.
But it's
because
if you,
then they're going to feel that person
exactly,
is crazy.
exactly.
Yeah.
You would have been persecuted, not officially persecuted, but
No.
you'd be socially persecuted by
Yes,
people.
they're very
So that was the
that
problem.
person is crazy, yeah.
So when you were living with your ex-husband at the time, and then you said afterwards you went to community college or during?
No, I didn't go to community.
You went to which college? You went to Hackensack, right?
Eastwick.
Oh, Eastwick.
Yeah.
You went to Eastwick College. Okay, I thought you went to Hackensack. Okay, you went
Eastwick
to Eastwood College, and so you weren't with living with your husband at the time. No.
no.
Who were you staying with then?
With my kids, Brandon and Ryan, and my parents.
So this is when after you brought back your
After my
family
parents came.
and your brother, your mom,
Yeah.
your father,
My brother won the American lottery. My parents came after I got my citizenship.
and you helped them get the citizenship, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you brought them, and now you're living together with your brother, mom, and father, and your two kids, right?
Here I'm living with my kids. My brother lives with his wife.
No, it's
his
back when you were.
Back then, yes.
Back then, yeah.
Yes.
So now you're raising two kids, and you have your parents in your house, and you're going to college. Are you also working?
Yes, I was working at Garden State Plaza, and I remember I started there with $7.50 an hour.
$7.50
I
an
worked for
hour.
Victoria's Secret. Yeah, $7.50 an hour.
What did you do at Victoria's Secret?
Just like sales in the floor,
So,
but the
so
pay
that
was
was
$7.50.
that was your first American job?
That was the first American job, yeah. And I
Mm.
couldn't wait for income tax because with two kids at the end of the year, I got a little bit of money from income tax, so I couldn't wait for the end of the year to get that money.
That's very so. You
But because of my income, you used to get free meal in school.
there we go.
Yeah.
There we go. So while working minimum wage job, you're also going to school and raising two kids.
Mm-hmm.
Though that of course being stressful,
Of course.
right? Was the end goal always one day I'm gonna have the money and we're gonna have an amazing life? Is that always just through your mind? Well, throughout growing, like now you're stressed with college, stressed with raising kids, stressed with taking care of your parents. Is your end goal in your mind still I'm gonna get my degree and I'm gonna make the money?
Of course, I'm gonna get the money. I want to offer my kids a good education. Hopefully, one day we can have a small house. You know, have a good pension when I retire. Though I'm only halfway through.
We're close. We're close. So, when you graduated, you were studying what?
Cardiovascular sonography.
And now you do that now, right?
Yeah.
So, what challenges did you face while building your career?
In the beginning, patients used to ask me if I went to school here or in my country. I guess because of my accent.
Because your accent?
Because of my accent, patients used to ask me if I went. I guess they wanted to make sure so that I didn't study. I study here and not somewhere else.
Okay.
Yeah, that.
So, how long have you been working now in the hospital field?
15 years.
15 years.
Mm-hmm.
And any regrets in that field? Would you maybe want to do something else with your career? Was that like a big goal of yours?
No, I mean I love my job. I wanted to do nursing, but that was a longer
Longer
program.
school.
It's a little more stressful. So then I picked ultrasound. It was a shorter
So
program.
it was also a time
Yeah,
crunch.
but if
being
I was
wide.
born here, who knows?
Okay. So I think that's great. So we started off growing up in communist Albania. What was it, President Hoxha?
Enver Hoxha.
Enver Hoxha. Now he's overthrown democracy. You're getting news from outside sources. You're getting to see the world. You're understanding how where your country falls in like the global economy, the global world right now. And you leave. You start your new life in America. You raise two kids. How has
And
growth-
also, though English was my second language, I finished with honors in college.
You finished with honors.
Yes,
Perfect.
I graduated with honors.
So, how was growing up in Albania? How has growing up in Albania shaped to who you are today?
When you know how hard life is, it's like you're prepared for challenges.
Mm-hmm.
When
So growing up that hard
growing up
make you
hard,
expect it.
Yes, make you stronger for challenges in the future, and make you appreciate what you have.
Okay. And how has your understanding of freedom changed? Like,
Oh,
like the word
yeah.
freedom, how has it
Of
changed?
freedom, I make my own money. I drive. I spend. I buy what I want. Any food, any clothes. My kids to college. So.
So just two other worlds,
Just,
Albania and
yes,
you.
I don't mind working. I work 6-7 days a week, 60-70 hours a week, but I have freedom. I buy whatever my kids need.
And you like
I
spending, right?
need my kids. I mean, it's a lot of bills, of course, 2 kids in college, but it's like it's time you have to.
Mm-hmm. And
You have
you
to.
like it. You like doing it.
Yes, I don't mind it.
So
I don't mind it.
what values from your upbringing stayed with you? So like the values your parents put into you,
Mhm.
how has that stayed? Like what are those values? What have you been brought up with?
Oh, to respect each other, to respect anyone, to have respect and don't
Mhm.
hurt anyone,
Okay.
and if you can, just help people.
Just help. Okay, that's good. So looking back, what stands out most about your journey? Like from your life, Albania transition here. What stands out about what you've accomplished?
I have 2 beautiful children that I love them so much, and I have my family here now, and I am very happy.
What do you want others to understand about living under communism? The people in America who have never experienced it.
I mean, they have to feel lucky that they were born here, so they don't know how bad life can be.
So they just feel proud and lucky.
Someone who's born here doesn't know how bad life can be
Okay.
in other countries.
I agree. And lastly, is there anything you would like to share with me that we haven't already discussed? Is there anything that you wanted to say, that you wanted to let people know? Anything at all?
I mean, life is sacrifice. You
Mhm.
always have to try, and you have to have patience, and you can get tired easily.
All right. Perfect. Okay, I think that concludes the interview. That's it. I leave now, and Jazakallah. Thank you very much.